Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Scooter Roth, NG Portrait Places. So, my wife is with my son Chase, and they're at a birthday party with just wives and kids. So, I had some free time today to go do a little bit of exploring. So, I've been told to come check out a village just a little bit past Waterloo Village. I talked about Waterloo Village in the past. Great photos, great spot. I've taken family photos there myself. So, somebody said to go check out a place called Millbrook Village. So Millbrook Village is on the border of Delaware Water Gap. It's about 35 minutes from where I'm based out of in North Jersey. And so I just got here and I looked a little bit about the kind of buildings that were here ahead of time and decided to get but bring a shirt that I thought matched the environment. So I got this like little whiskey saloon type of shirt. It's brown, and as you can see, it fits in with the environment. So I'm actually going to set up my light and take some cool selfies. I haven't really done that part in a while. So, but anyway, this is Millbrook Village. We're going to walk around, try to find some good spots that I think are good for photos and see how it looks. I will point out that this is part of the Delaware National Watercraft Park. So because that is part of the National Park Service, so same rules apply for that. So it's a little bit more flexible than state parks, I believe, as far as rights to take photos and everything like that. So anyway, so let's get started. This is the first building that I saw walking in, which I really like. It's kind of got a saloon look to it. Let's see what it says. It says it's the L Bertoff Building. So let's just switch that real quick. It's got a good leading path up to it, but that's the L Bertoff C. I don't even know how to pronounce that. So this is actually the restrooms. So when you first enter, so you can park right here, and then there are public restrooms that are open. A little bit grimy, but it's a park. And then of course there's looks like maybe an outhouse that had horses or something there. That's pretty cool. And then across the way, there's this little building here. So for those who aren't familiar with what I do, I talk about places that are good to do portrait photography at. Parks, historic places. Try to find the permissions, find out what's involved, if there's a permit fee or anything like that. I try to find out that info to inform people. So you can learn more about it at njportraitplaces.com. Hopefully more photographers will get involved with the website. It's still kind of a work in progress. But anyway, so this is a place called the Spangenberg Cabin. Kind of cool there. It's got a cool little bench right here. I love that bench. All right, let's continue walking around. I like wooden faux pens that you see here. It's a little bit small. So basically what we'll do is we'll walk around the property a little bit, see what's here. And then, like I said, I'll go back around and take some portraits in those spots to kind of give you an idea as far as what you can get. So, all right, obviously it's a good place for, doing like little day camping. So now, being that where you kind of are out in the woods area, I definitely recommend bringing deep woods. Good kind of a bug repellent type of thing, because it can get buggy, especially because it just rained, I think, a little bit here. But that's a cool looking building. It does have caution tape, so I am not going to go any further than right here. But that's pretty cool. They must be doing some restoration on that house. So there is a main street that kind of cuts through the village. That main street is where I came down to park over into that parking lot. So at some point we're going to go across that street to the rest of the village part. There's some other little houses. A lot of the buildings have that similar type of brownish look to them. Not a whole lot of variety to them. But let's go around here. I like covered areas like that with the benches and stuff. Love getting some use of that. Yeah, I might have to come back and take a photo in that spot. So I know that People that do family photos love to have a spot on the grass to sit the family down and do like a kind of like a picnic type photo. So that's one of the things I try to look out for, are spots where you can do that kind of a family picnic area. And I think this spot would work out pretty good for that. So this area of the grass is pretty clean. So far I'm liking what I'm seeing. So over here, that's the main street I was talking about that comes down, and so we're going to walk across over that. We're going to walk across that road in a few minutes, check out the rest of the property. Let's look a little bit more back here. We're the front part of this building. What's creepy is that when you walk by some of these buildings and you see something that's up there in the window and it looks like something is staring at you, like you look in there, see the bottom part right up there, that window area? It looked like something was staring at me. That's what was creepy. So again, I do these videos on the Samsung S21 Ultra. It's got that director's view I like, which allows me to quickly switch screens like this, and then I can make that image wider or smaller, stuff like that. So that's always really cool. Every village has a little store. So this must have been their general store. Oh. Again, it's got some cool benches. Love chip paint, wood, all that kind of stuff. That side of the building's a little bit grimy. So now, currently it's a little bit after 5. The park hours close at 5 as far as this place. So normally as a village, sometimes it does have hours where they're doing tours, you know, museum type of stuff like that. So you can always look into that if you wanted to do a tour of the actual property and learn a little bit more about these buildings. But I focus more on just the photography aspect. So I very rarely talk about going into the buildings or doing any photos inside. It's more about the use of the property, the use of the architecture, things like that for photos. It's a cool spot. See, so there's a little bit of variety here, you know, with something like those white doors. Pretty cool. Now, we aren't far from the Delaware water gap, so you can probably just drive down that area and take some good photos against the water. There is a little river here. Let's see what the river looks like. A little bit of a river, but there's probably also a lot of poison ivy and stuff around. Follow down that path. That's a cool path. We're going to walk down there a little bit. This angle doesn't really show much justice, but that's pretty cool. And then this is probably where they do like a show or something like that. So whenever they're doing like their historical days or something like that, they probably set up some kind of a display here to kind of show some of the woodsman's crafts or something like that. So, but this is a cool little spot. I would definitely take some photos in here. All right, so we're back here at that main road that I talked about. You come down here and just make a right up here and park over there. So let's cross over here and see what's there. I think this is a school that we're going to take a look at real quick. Cool rope. So this is actually the Millbrook Methodist Episcopal Church. So while we're walking by and we see this, I did want to point out that as far as recommended places to take photos, I normally avoid talking about churches or any kind of religious places because you never know the rules of those type of grounds, things like that. Moral reasons, ethical, I don't know, but so I don't really talk about churches unless it's part of like a historic village like this. That's a different story. Like a little red house here. This was a little bit of a smokehouse. That's pretty cool. Let's see what's in the smokehouse. Doo-doo. Oh, look, there's that sign. So they're wanting you to open up and look inside. That's pretty cool. A little place to have a fire going. Meech was then put in the smokehouse. The smoke from the slow fire. Greenwood, apple, hickory. Pretty cool. Property back there. You know, again, a lot of the there's some good stone. I always look for stone area, so that's a good stone spot. Some areas look more maintained than others. It's a good family spot. Different type of stone that has a little bit more white paint on it. That part's cool. I like that. So this looks like the last building on the property. This little yellow house, so that's good. I like variety in the buildings, you know, so they're not all the same color, same tone. So the fact that there's this yellow one back here is pretty cool. It adds a little bit of variety. Pretty much ends the property here. It says that area is closed, so we're not going to go back there. This is actually half yellow and half red. That's pretty interesting. Half yellow, half red. There's this little bridge, which is pretty cool. I like finding little bridges like this, as long as they're different, as long as they're unique. All right, so just switch this back. So I think that covers the gist of the Millbrook Village. So I'm going to start making my way back to the car where I have my lighting and stuff like that, and other camera gear, and try to take some cool selfies here and see what I come up with. So, all right, so that's Millbrook Village. Hope you got some value out of this video, and you come check out this location. Here's a little tidbit about me. Not really a history buff, not really into the history aspect. I like the cool look of the architecture for portraits. So, all right, take care. All right, so as I'm putting away my gear here, I just wanted to really quickly talk about my reviews here. So as you know, if you see on ngportraitplaces.com or you see on any of the photos that I've been sharing, usually the front photo I have like a star system, 1 to 5. Gonna give this place a 3. I love the fact that, you know, one, it's a part of a national park. It's got the historical aspect to it, which is really cool. I like the fact that it's flat terrain, so using you know, a cart that I have here is really good, really helpful in that way. I like the fact that I can set up a light. That's always a plus. The fact that there's bathrooms, public accessible bathrooms, is really cool. You know, especially if you're doing a session where people need to change outfits or something like that. That's always a plus as well. Some decent variety to the buildings, that's cool too. So some of the trade-offs, some of the things I didn't really like as much, one, because of the fact that you're out in wilderness, in the park, it is very buggy here. There's a lot of trees and stuff like that. That could be a plus or minus depending on the weather, depending on how sunny it is, different things like that. You know, the sun may affect some of the shots. So that's something that you got to keep an eye out on. Let's see, you know, there was some good grassy areas for those types of photos. Some of the other areas, but the main thing for me is that there wasn't really any specific thing that was really unique that I found. I will say, like, there were these 2 little wooden structures that stand in between them. I think, you know, was kind of cool, but for the most part, the architecture, the type of buildings that they are, the paint and stuff like that, most of that you really don't have to travel out here that far to find that type of stuff. There wasn't really something unique about the architecture. There wasn't really any specific type of, really cool bridge or certain bodies of water or something like that. So from a photography standpoint, portraits, the kind of photos that you can get here for the most part, you can get without driving all the way out here. So that's the only thing that I think that's really holding back this place. So from a historical place, it's really cool to come check out. Thank you for recommending this place. I'm going to give them a shout out. So that's basically it. So I'm going to give this place a 3, and I will see you later.